So it's from the book Wuthering Heights. The character is named Catherine, and she is just waking up. She's had a terrible night of like after fighting in some sort of conflict in her house. So she's kind of she's just really upset, and so she's explaining this. She's speaking to her maid, I guess. All right.
Are you going to sit me?
For a minute, I'm gonna sit, and then I'm going to stand up.
Do you want a podium or not?
Should I do the laugh?
Yeah.
I know I didn't know how that would work with the recording.
That's okay, you're perfect.
All right. I thought I was at home. I thought I was lying in my chamber at Wuthering Heights. Because I'm weak, my brain got confused, and I screamed out unconsciously. Don't say anything. Stay with me. I dread sleeping. My dreams appall me. Oh, but if I were in my own bed at the old house, and that wind sounding in the firs by the lattice. Do let me feel it. It comes straight down the moor. Do let me have one breath. How long is it since I shut myself in here? It seems a weary number of hours. It must be more. I remember being in the parlor after they had quarreled, and Edgar being so cruelly provoking, and me running in here desperate. I had no command of tongue or brain, and he did not guess my agony, perhaps. It barely left me sense to escape him and his voice. Before I recovered sufficiently to see and hear, it began to be dawn. And Nellie, I'll tell you what I thought, and what had kept recurring and recurring until I feared for my reason. I thought, as I lay there, with my head against that table leg, and my eyes dimly discerning the gray square of the window, I thought I was enclosed in the oak panel bed at home, and my heart ached with such great grief. And just waking, I couldn't recollect. I pondered and worried myself to discover what it could be. And most strangely, the whole last 7 years of my life grew blank. I didn't recall that they had been at all. I was a child, and my father was just buried, and my misery arose from the separation that Hindley had imposed between Heathcliff and I. I was laid alone for the first time, and rousing from a dismal doze after a night of weeping, I lifted my hand to push the panels aside, and I hit the tabletop. I swept it along the carpet, and then memory burst in. And my late anguish was swallowed in a paroxysm of despair. I cannot say why I felt so wildly wretched. It must have been temporary derangement, for there's scarcely a cause. But supposing at 12 years old I had been wrenched from the heights and every early association in my life, and my all in all, as Heathcliff was at that time, and had been converted at a stroke into Mrs. Linton, the lady of Thrushcross Grange, and the wife of a stranger, an exile, and outcast thenceforth from what had been my world. You may fancy a glimpse of the abyss where I grovel. Shake your head as you will, Nellie. But you have helped to unsettle me. You should have spoken to Edgar. You should have compelled him to leave me quiet. I wish I were out of doors. I wish I were a girl again. Half savage and hardy and free, and laughing under injuries, not maddening under them. Why am I so changed? Why does my blood rush into a hell of tumult at a few words? I'm sure I would be myself if I were among the heather on those hills. Oh,
open the window again wide, fast,